Hey everybody, it's Allison from Allykatkreations. How are you? Happy May 1st. Happy May Day. Urantia. Before I start, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't had the chance to do so. It helps me. And share to spread the wisdom and the knowledge out. Today I'm going to tackle paper 18, the Supreme Trinity Personalities. Very interested on this. Supreme Trinity Personalities are all created for specific service. They are designed by the Divine Trinity for the fulfillment of certain specific duties, and they are qualified to serve with perfection of technique and finality of devotion. There are 7 orders of the Supreme Trinity Personalities. 777. Trinitized Secrets of Supremacy, Eternals of Days, Ancients of Days, Perfections of Days, Recents of Days, Unions of Days, Faithfuls of Days. These beings of administrative perfection are of definite and final numbers. Their creation is a past event. No more are being personalized. Throughout the grand universe, these Supreme Trinity Personalities represent the administrative policies of the Paradise Trinity. They represent the justice and are the executive judgment of the Paradise Trinity. They form an interrelated line of administrative perfection extending from the Paradise spheres of the Father to the headquarter worlds of the local universes and to the capitals of their component constellations. All Trinity origin beings are created in paradise perfection in all their divine attributes. Only in the realms of experience has the passing of time added to their equipment for cosmic service. There is never any danger of default or risk of rebellion with Trinity origin beings. They are of divinity essence, and they have never been known to depart from the divine and perfect path of personality conduct. So the other books I'm reading, I just covered the number 7 in depth. Very interesting take. The Trinitized Secrets of Supremacy. There are 7 worlds in the innermost circuit of the Paradise satellites, and each of these exalt worlds is presided over by a corpse of 10 Trinitized Secrets of Supremacy. They are not creators, but they are supreme and ultimate administrators. The conduct of the affairs of these 7 fraternal spheres is wholly committed to this corpse of 70 supreme directors. Through the offspring of the Trinity supervise these 7 sacred spheres nearest paradise. This group of worlds is universally known as the personal circuit of the Universal Father. The Trinitized Secrets of Supremacy function in groups of 10 as coordinate joint directors of their respective spheres, but they also function individually in particular fields of responsibility. The work of each of these special worlds is divided into 7 major departments, and one of these coordinate rulers presides over each such division of specialized activities. The remaining 3 act as the personal representatives of triune deity in relation to the other 7, one representing the Father, one the Son, and one the Spirit. Although there is a definite class resemblance which typifies the Trinitized secrets of supremacy, they also disclose 7 distinct group characteristics. The 10 supreme directors of Divinitan affairs are reflective of the personal character and nature of the Universal Father. And so it is with each of these 7 spheres. Each group of 10 resembles the deity or deity association with its characteristic of their domain. The 10 directors who rule Ascendington are reflective of the combined nature of the Father, Son, and Spirit. I can reveal very little about the work of these high personalities on the 7 sacred worlds of the Father, for they are truly the secrets of supremacy. They are no arbitrary secrets associated with the approach to the Universal Father, the Eternal Son, or the Infinite Spirit. The deities are an open book to all who obtain divine perfection, but all the secrets of supremacy can never be fully obtained. Always will be unable fully to penetrate the realms containing the personality secrets of deity associated with the 7-fold grouping of created beings. Since the work of these supreme directors has to do with the innate and personal contact of the deities with these 7 basic groupings of universe beings, when domiciled on these 7 special worlds, or while functioning throughout the grand universe, it is fitting that these very personal relations and extraordinary contact should be held sacredly secret. The Paradise creators respect the privacy and sanctity of personality, even in the lowly creatures. And this is true both of individuals and of the various separate orders of personalities. To beings of even high universe attainment, these secret worlds even remain a test of loyalty. It is given us fully and personally to know the eternal gods, freely to know their characters of divinity and perfection, but it is not granted us fully to penetrate all the personal relations of the Paradise rulers with all of their creature beings. They need some privacy too. The Eternals of Days. Each of the billion worlds of Harvona is directed by a supreme Trinity personality. These rulers are known as the Eternals of Days, and they number exactly 1 billion. 1 billion. 1 for each of the Havona spheres. They are the offspring of the Paradise Trinity, but like the secrets of supremacy, there are no records of their origin. Forever have these 2 groups of all-wise fathers ruled their exquisite worlds of the Paradise Harvona system, and they function without rotation or reassignment. The Eternals of Days are visible to all who creatures dwell in their domains. They preside over the regular planetary conclaves. Periodically and by rotation, they visit the headquarters spheres of the 7 super universes. They are close of kin to and are the divine equals of the Ancients of Days, who preside over the destinies of the 7 super governments. When the Eternal of Days is absent from his sphere, the world is directed by a Trinity teacher son. Except for the established orders of life, such as the Harvona natives and other living creatures of the essential universe, the resident Eternals of Days have developed their respective spheres entirely in accordance with their own personal ideas and ideals. They visit each other's planet, but they do not copy or imitate. They are always and wholly original. That's a sigh of relief. The architecture, natural embellishment, Urantia structures, and spirit creations are exclusive and unique on each sphere. Every world is a place of everlasting beauty and is wholly unlike any other world in the central universe. And you will each spend a longer or shorter time on each of these unique and thrilling spheres on your way inward through Harvona to paradise. It is natural on your world to speak of paradise as upward, but it would be more correct to refer to the divine goal of ascension as inward. The Ancients of Days. When mortals of time graduate from the training world surrounding the headquarters of a local universe and are advanced to the educational spheres of their super universe, they have progressed in spiritual development to the point where they are able to recognize and communicate with the high spiritual rulers and directors of these advanced realms, including the Ancients of Days. The Ancients of Days are basically identical. They disclose the combined character and unified nature of the Trinity. They possess individually and are in personality diverse, but they do not differ from each other as do the seven master spirits. They provide the uniform directorship of the otherwise differing seven super universes, each of which is a distinct, segregated, and unique creation. The seven master spirits are unlike in nature and attributes, but the Ancients of Days, the personal rulers of the super universes, are all uniform and super perfect offspring of Paradise Trinity. The seven master spirits on high determine the nature of their respective super universes, but the Ancients of Days dictate the administration of these same super universes. The superimposed administrative uniformity on creative diversity and ensure the harmony of the whole in the face of the underlying creational differences of the seven segmental groupings of grand universe. The Ancients of Days were all trinitized at the same time. They represent the beginning of the personality records of the universe of universes, hence their name, Ancients of Days. When you reach paradise and search the written records of the beginning of things, you will find that the first entry appearing in the personality section is the recital of the trinitization of these 21 Ancients of Days. These high beings always govern in groups of three. There are many places of activity in which they work as individuals, still others in which any two can function, but in the higher spheres of their administration, they must act jointly. They never personally leave their residential worlds, but then they do not have to, for these worlds are the super universe focal points of the far-flung reflective system. The personal abodes of each trio of the Ancients of Days are located at the point of spiritual polarity on their headquarters sphere. Such a sphere is divided into 70 administrative sectors and have 70 divisional capitals in which the Ancients of Days reside from time to time. In power, scope of authority, and extent of jurisdiction, the Ancients of Days are the most powerful and mighty of any of the direct rulers of time-space creations. In all the vast universe of universes, they alone are invested with the high powers of final executive judgment concerning the eternal extinction of will in creatures. And all three Ancients of Days must participate in the final decrees of the Supreme Tribunal of Super Universe. Aside from the deities and their paradise associates, the Ancients of Days are the most perfect, most versatile, and the most divinely endowed rulers in all time-space existence. Apparently, they are the supreme rulers of the supreme super universes, but they have not experientially earned this right to rule and are therefore destined sometime to be superseded by the Supreme Being, an experiential sovereign whose vicegerents they will undoubtedly become. The Supreme Being is achieving the sovereignty of the seven super universes by experiential service, just as the Creator Son experientially earns sovereignty of his local universe. But during the present age of the unfinished evolution of the Supreme, the Ancients of Days provide the coordinate and perfect administrative over-control of the evolving universe of time and space, and the wisdom of originality and the initiative of individuality characterizes all the decrees and rulings of the Ancients of Days. Perfections of days. There are just 210 perfection of days, and they preside over the governments of the 10 major sectors of each super universe. They were trinitized for the special work of assisting the super universe directors, and they rule as the immediate and personal vice-regents of the Ancients of Days. 3 perfections of days are assigned to each major sector, capital, but unlike the Ancients of Days, it is not necessary that all 3 be present all the times. From time to time, one of the trio may absent himself to confer in person with the Ancients of Days concerning the welfare of his realm. These triune rulers of the major sectors are peculiarly perfect in the mastery of administrative details, hence their name perfections of days. In recording the names of these beings of the spiritual world, we are confronted with the problem of translating into your tongue. And very often it is exceedingly difficult to render a satisfactory translation. We dislike to use arbitrary designations which would be meaningless to you. Hence, we often find it difficult to choose a suitable name, one which we be clear to you and at the same time be somewhat representative of the original. The perfections of days have a moderate sized corps of divine counselors, perfecters of wisdom, and universal censors attached to their governments. They have still larger numbers of mighty messengers, these high in authority and those without name and number. But much of the routine work of major sector affairs is carried on by the celestial guardians and the high sun assistants. These 2 groups are drawn from among the trinitized offspring of either paradise Harvona personalities or glorified mortal finaliters. Certain of these 2 orders of creature trinitized beings are retrinitized by the paradise deities and then are dispatched to assist in the administration of the super universe governments. Most of the celestial guardians and the high sun assistants are assigned to the service of the major, minor sectors, but the trinitized custodians, Trinity embraced seraphim and midwayers, are the officers of the courts of all 3 divisions, functioning in the tribunals of the Ancients of Days, the perfections of days, and the recents of days. The trinitized ambassadors, Trinity embraced ascended mortals of sun or spirit fused nature, may be encountered anywhere in the super universe, but the majority are in the service of the minor sectors. Before the times of the full unfolding of the governmental scheme of the 7 super universes, practically all administrators of the various divisions of these governments, excepting the Ancients of Days, served apprenticeships of varying duration under the Eternals of Days on the various worlds of the perfect Harvona universe. The later trinitized beings likewise passed through a season of the training under the Eternals of Days before they were attached to the service of the Ancients of Days and the perfections of days and the recents of days. They are all seasoned, tried, and experienced administrators. You will early see the perfections of days when you advance to your headquarters of Spaldon, after your sojourn on the worlds of your minor sector. For these exalted rulers are closely associated with the 70 major sector worlds of higher training for the ascendant creatures of time. The perfections of days in school administrator, the group pledges to ascending graduates of the major sector schools. The work of the pilgrims of time on the world surrounding a major sector headquarters is chiefly of an intellectual nature in contrast with the more physical and material character of training on the 7 educational spheres of a minor sector, and with the spiritual undertakings on the 490 university worlds of super universe headquarters. Although you are entered only upon the registry of the major sector of Splendidon, which embraces the local universe of your origin, you will have to pass through every one of the 10 major divisions of our super universe. You will see all 30 of the Orvantan perfections of days before you reach your versa. The recents of days. The recents of days are the youngest of the supreme directors of the super universes. In groups of 3, they preside over the affairs of the minor sectors. In nature, they are coordinate with the perfection of days, but in administrative authority, they are subordinate. They are just 21,000 of these personally glorious and divinely efficient Trinity personalities. They were created simultaneously, and together they pass through their Havona training under the eternal of days. The recents of days, having a corps of associates and assistants similar to that of the perfections of days. In addition, they have assigned to them the enormous numbers of the various subordinate orders of the celestial beings in the administration of the minor sectors. They utilize large numbers of the resident ascending mortals, the personnel of the various courtesy colonies, and the various groups originating in the infinite spirit. She doesn't care that I'm reading. Doesn't care. Right? You don't care? Nope, Mama, I don't care. I sits where I sits. The governments of the minor sectors are very largely, though not exclusively, concerned with the great physical problem of the super universes. The minor sector spheres are the headquarters of the master physical controllers. On these worlds, ascending mortals carry on studies and experiments having to do with the examination of the activities of the 3rd order of the supreme power centers and all 7 orders of the master physical controllers. Since the regime of minor sector is so extensively concerned with physical problems, its 3 recents of days are seldom together on the capital sphere. Most of the time, one is away in conference with the perfection of days of the supervising major sector, or absent while representing the ancients of days at the paradise conclaves of the high Trinity origin beings. They alternate with the perfection of days in representing the ancients of days at the supreme councils on paradise. Meanwhile, while on recents of days may be away on tour of inspection of the headquarter worlds of the local universes belonging to his jurisdiction. But at least one of these rulers always remains on duty at the headquarters of a minor sector. You will all sometime know the 3 recents of days in charge of Ensa, your minor sector, since you have passed through their hands on your way inward to training worlds of major sectors. In ascending to your versa, you will pass through only one group of minor sector training spheres. Can't believe this little monster here. That's right, I called you a monster. The union of days. The Trinity personalities of the order of days do not function in all administrative capacity below the level of the super universe governments. In the evolving She's really bad, guys. I'm sorry. Again, another cat bites the dust eating paper. Give me a second. Now she's sitting down. I'm going to start that over because the union of days, the Trinity personalities of the order of days do not function in an administrative capacity below the level of the super universe governments. In the evolving local universes, they act only as counselors and advisors. The unions of days are a group of liaison personalities accredited by the Paradise Trinity to the dual rulers of local universes. Each organized and inhabited local universe has assigned to it one of these Paradise counselors who acts as a representative of the Trinity and in some respects of the Universal Father to local creation. There are 700,000 of these beings in existence, though they not all been commissioned. The reserve corps of the unions of days function on Paradise as Supreme Council of Universe Adjustments. In a special manner, these Trinity observers coordinate the administrative activities of all branches of the universal government, from those of the local universes up through the sector governments to those of the super universes, hence their name, unions of days. They make a threefold report to their supervisors. They report permanent data of a physical and semi-intellectual nature to the recents of days of the minor sector. They report intellectual and quasi-spiritual happenings to the perfections of days of their major sector. They report spiritual and semi-paradisical matters to the ancients of days at the capital of the super universes. Since they are Trinity origin beings, all the Paradise circuits are available to them for the intercommunication, and thus are they always in touch with each other and with all other required personalities up to the Supreme Councils of Paradise. A union of days is not organically connected with the government of the local universe of his assignment. Aside from his duties as an observer, he acts only on the request of local authorities. He is an ex officio member of it primary councils and all important conclaves of local creation, but he does not participate in the technical consideration of administrative problems. When the local universe is settled in light and life, glorified beings associate freely with the union of days, who then functions in an enlarged capacity in such a realm of evolutionary perfection, but he is still primarily a Trinity ambassador and Paradise counselor. A local universe is directly ruled by a divine son of dual deity origin, but he is constantly by his side a Paradise brother, a Trinity origin personality. In the event of temporary absence of a creator son from the headquarters of his local universe, the acting rulers are largely guided in their major decisions by the councils of their union of days. The faithfuls of days. These high Trinity origin personalities are the Paradise advisors to the rulers of the 100 constellations in each local universe. There are 70 million faithfuls of days, and like the unions of days, not all are in service. Their Paradise Reserve Corps and the Advisory Commission of Inter-Universal Ethics and Self-Government. Faithful of days rotate in service in accordance with the rulings of the Supreme Council of their Reserve Corps. All that a union of days is to a creator son of a local universe, the faithfuls of days are to the Veronadic sons who rule the constellations of their local creation. They are supremely devout and divinely faithful to the welfare of their constellation of assignment, hence the name faithful of days. They act only as counselors. Never do they participate in administrative activities except upon the invitation of the constellation authorities. Neither are they directly concerned in the educational ministry to the pilgrims of ascension on the architectural training spheres surrounding a constellation headquarters. All such undertakings are under the supervision of the Urantia sons. All faithful of days functioning in the constellation of a local universe are under the jurisdiction of and reported directly to the Union of Days. They do not have a far-flung system of intercommunication, being ordinarily self-limited to an inter-association with the limits of a local universe. Any faithful of days on duty in Nebadon can and does communicate with all others of his order on duty in this local universe. Like the Union of Days on the universe headquarters, the faithful of days maintain their personal residence on the constellation capital separate from those of the administrative directors of such realms. Their abodes are indeed modest in comparison with the homes of the Urantia rulers of constellations. The faithfuls of days are the last link in the long administrative advisory chain, which reaches from the sacred spheres of the Universal Father near the center of all things to the primary divisions of local universes. The Trinity origin regime stops with the constellations. No such paradise advisors are permanently situated on their component systems or on the inhabited worlds. These later administrative units are wholly under the jurisdiction of beings native to the local universe. And that, my friends, with some disruptions of the kitty cat eating paper, is paper 18. The Supreme Trinity Personalities. I hope all of you enjoyed that. I know I did. It's really interesting to know how all of upstairs is all a part of a government and everything has a function, a feature. Every deity has a role to play, although not all of importance. It's all in the scheme of things important, but how all the roles are so that every universe has order, law and order. Something kind of lacking in our dimension right now. But I hope all of you enjoyed that. Don't forget to hit that like button. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. They're still messing with me. Still. So I do appreciate that you guys give me love. It's free. Thumbs up are free. It helps the algorithm. It helps spread the word. It's very important that people get this information, whether they resonate with it or not. It's up to them to do that. But I think it's very important that not only does the Urantia book correspond with the Keys of Enoch and Awaspe, they're all weaving together. And as I keep reading more information and more papers from Urantia and doing my insights on the Keys of Enoch, people are starting to make the connections to the different books. And they're all very important in their own right with their own self. So take what resonates with you. I hope each and every one of you has a wonderful day. Hopefully Grumpy won't eat any more of my paper. It's okay, she's old. She's 17. She's cranky. Sending each and every one of you love and light. I hope everybody has a peaceful, calm beginning to their week. If you have it within you to give me a love donation, I very much appreciate it. I was just able to squeak by, not all my bills, but the most important ones for me right now is the internet and my electric. And I got to peep that by. It was not easy and it was very last minute. So anything you guys can do to help, because eventually my house will be bare. I'm trying my hardest to get stuff sold. Not an easy task, and actually not that safe either. And I'm not at a state that you can have a carry, so I got that stuff back there. But I'm sending each and every one of you love and light. I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.